Hi guys, it's Max here with dartsreviews.tv in association with dartsplanet.tv. We've got a dartboard for you today from Shot. This is the Bandit Generation 4 dartboard. Looks quite interesting, some good features on there. But what I think we'll do is we'll head on over to the dart room and we'll get it unboxed.
So we're over in the dart room with the 4th generation Bandit board from Shot Darts. Really interesting. They've got a whole new sort of like design with the wire system and everything like that. And something that I'm really looking forward to is it's got a tape-free sisal. You know, with some dartboards, you get those wiggly veins in all of the segments. Sometimes they're a little bit harder and you get a few dart drops out. Apparently, this dartboard has none of that. All the sisal's in nice and compact with none of that tape that could give you a few deflections. So hopefully when we get it out of the box, we'll see if that's sort of true to its word. But on the box, we got a nice image here showing up of the dartboard. We got the 4th generation. Over on the back, we got some information about the dartboard, and with this you get a few little extras as well, which is cool. You get that bracket for mounting it on the wall, so you can rotate it nice and easy. It even gives you a measuring tape so you can get all the measurements right, which sometimes can be a pain if you're using a standard one because you've got to try and find all the right areas. So let's get it out of the box and have a look. First off, looking at the dartboard, I cannot see any veins at all, which is really good. The wires are really quite flush. They don't stick out hardly at all, so that gives you a lot more playing area. They're not too sharp on my fingers or anything as well, so I'm not cutting myself. Bullseye is lovely in the centre, no sort of like pitting or anything. Sometimes you find the ring for the bullseye just sticks out a little bit more, but it is all nice and flush, really nicely. I do like the fact that we've got a black ring with white numbers, so it blends in nicely, no distractions. Even the little brackets that hold the wire in, they're nice and secure, there's no looseness, a decent sort of shape as well. But all in all, the printing is really good quality. The board feels really nice as well. It's going to be interesting to see how the darts go into this. What you get with this, like I said, you get a few little extra bits. You get your little bracket, which is really good for rotating the board. You don't have to take it off the wall and do it. You literally just sort of like loosen off the feet and turn it. And you get the lovely little Shot branded measuring tape as well, so you can get all the measurements just right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this all put together, put up on the wall, and we're going to see how it holds up.
So in the dart room, we've got the board up on the wall. We've used the bracket and everything. Went up nice and smoothly. Instructions are really clear. Looking at it from here, it's really vibrant. Can't see any veins or anything. The colours blend really nicely. And what I really like is with that wire system, there's nothing sticking out, anything like that. It's really clean. I'm going to start throwing on the board so we can see how it holds up. After I've had a few throws, we'll speed it up a little bit so you don't have to just sit there watching me throw darts everywhere. And then at the end, we'll sort of have a look to see how it's holding up, if the board's like kept the hold, or if they've pulled. Everything it should be doing as a decent board. So yeah, let's get on with it. The board's really vibrant. I'm trying to get some in the white. I'm going to sort of like throw around the board a little bit to start with, because I want to see if the board sort of like, you can see the holes in different colours and what have you. Obviously with a new board, it takes a little while before you can see any wear and tear. And so like around the bullseye where it's usually packed quite hard, there's nothing bouncing out or anything, which is really good. So yeah, let's see how it does with a few darts in the same area now. Okay, well I've thrown around the treble 20 for a little while. I'm going to switch up to the bullseyes because obviously different colours show up the holes a little bit differently. But looking at it from a distance, I can't see much damage at all, which is really good. But obviously we will have a closer look in a minute. So let's switch over to the bullseyes. Okay, so we've thrown around about the bullseye for a little while. We're going to switch over to the 19s just so we've got all the colours in the spectrum on the board and see how it's all going. Okay, so we've had a decent throw at the dartboard. We've gone around the different colours. What we're going to do is we're going to get a close-up and we'll have a little review on how it's held up.
Okay, well, looking at the dartboard, it's held up really, really well. Around about the treble 20, you can't see many of the holes at all. There was some really tight grouping. It's healed really, really well. Sort of like nearer the wire, you can sort of like see a few holes with the shadow and what have you, but it's held up really well. Around the bullseye, where it's a lot tighter, you can see the holes in the green and the red, but the more you throw in it and the more it softens up, more of those will disappear. And again, in the 19, see a few in the treble. It does show up a little bit more on the green, but all in all, a lot of the holes have healed, and from a distance, you don't notice them much at all. So all in all, I'm quite happy with this board. It's going to last a while. It's going to soften up a little bit and it's going to heal a bit more, but I'm loving the fact that the wire hasn't got any of the little bits sticking out. I think if I have to say anything, my only gripe would be at the 20 point with the shot writing. Because the shot's written in white and the numbers in white, you don't notice it as much from a distance. So possibly something for the next generation that they could sort of like change and improve it. But yeah, overall, it's a really nice board. So let's go have our final thought.
Well, overall, I think this dartboard was fantastic. Not loads of damage on there, even though I did get some good grouping. Obviously, it didn't heal as well around about like bullseye and everything because it's quite closely packed. But with a bit of use and it softening up, I think this dartboard is going to give you a really good turn. And it looked absolutely fantastic. That sort of like tape-free sisal is really, really good. It keeps all of the sections nice and uniformed and really, really vibrant. And I did like the fact that that sort of like really thin wire didn't come out over the edges of the black section or anything, so there's less chance of hitting the wires and getting bounce outs and things like that. Price point for this is £64.95. I think that's a really good price actually, especially if this board does last as long as I'm hoping it does. With the features of like the wires and that tape-free sisal and really vibrant colour and everything, I think that's a really good price point. Maybe you've got one of these dartboards and you've had it for a while. It'll be fantastic if you can let us know how it's holding up and what you think of it. And it helps other people make their mind up, especially with there being so many choices of different dartboards nowadays. Make sure you head on over to dartsreviews.tv and dartsplanet.tv. Whether you've got 5 minutes or half an hour, there's a read on there for everyone. Make sure you tick subscribe and tick the notification bell. Lots coming up in the future, not just dartboards, but darts, cases, shirts, and all sorts. And as always, come back. Check us out again soon. Bye.